Hey, how's it going? My name is Beth Rader, and I'm a real estate agent here in Kansas. I work primarily in the Topeka and the surrounding areas. All right, so we've all probably heard by now, we are in a bit of a seller's market. But I have come up with a few tips and tricks on how to get your offer accepted in a competitive situation. All right, so first things first. As a buyer, you need to hire a real estate agent to help you, to represent you. Don't wait and have the listing agent write up your offer. They are representing their sellers. They are looking out for their seller's best interest. So you as a buyer, get your own realtor. You're not gonna have to pay their commission. That comes from the listing agent. And you're not gonna get a better deal if you do it by yourself. So it's a win-win. Get your own realtor, okay? All right, next step. For some reason, buyers tend to drag their feet on this, but you need to get pre-qualified. And if you are a serious buyer, go ahead and have your lender start doing the paperwork to verify your numbers and your funds and get pre-approved. You know, you can't even put an offer in on a house unless you are at the very least pre-qualified. I mean, you can, but they're not going to accept your offer until you're pre-qualified. Some buyer or sellers won't even take your offer unless you're pre-approved. Alrighty? So once you get those two steps done, the next step is to have your agent look every day to see if new houses that fit your needs come on the market. Let's say you find a house you like and you want to put an offer in on it. There are multiple offers on the table and they're getting ready to present offers tomorrow morning or tonight. All right, in this situation, you have to be a little more aggressive with your offer if you want to get it accepted. I mean, you don't have to, but if you really want the home, then you likely have to be pretty aggressive to get the home. So I like to give my buyers the offer I like to educate them on an escalation clause. That's something you can add into your contract to allow you to keep your initial lower offer, but then shows the sellers that you are willing and able to increase your offer with proof of another higher valid offer. So that's a way to put more on the table without having to just give it away right up front. All right, so another area of the contract that you can use to make your offer more desirable is the earnest money. That's money that you put out there to show the sellers that you are committed to this transaction. You will get it back at closing, but you need to know that if you put that money out there and the deal falls through, there's no guarantee you're gonna see that money again. But it does show the seller that you're very committed and it does make your offer more desirable. All right, the next thing is your closing date. I try to keep this as flexible as possible to fit my seller's needs. If a seller has communicated to us that they need a long closing date, I try to encourage my buyers to accommodate them in their offer, okay? All right, so another area of the contract that you can make your offer more desirable is inspections. The fewer the inspections, the better in the eyes of the seller. That doesn't mean I encourage you to go and forego all your inspections just to get your offer accepted, because you have to understand as a buyer what you are giving up, okay? All right, so another area that you can use to make your offer more desirable is the aggregate. So the aggregate is an amount that you put in the contract. So let's say you have a few different inspections. You put a value in there for the aggregate, let's say $1,000. That means you as a buyer, you're assuming the first $1,000 worth of repairs. You don't have to do them right now. They're just the first $1,000 of repairs is not negotiable. So that's a pretty powerful tool. If you increase your aggregate, that's less repairs that the seller would have to do, okay? All right, so the next area of the contract to make your offer more desirable is an appraisal contingency. If you waive your appraisal contingency, that would make your offer more valuable. But that comes with risks if the house does not appraise for the purchase price. This won't come up if you're doing a cash offer, but if you're getting a loan, your lender will have to appraise the property and if the appraisal comes in underneath the purchase price, then several different things can happen. Well, if you've waived that appraisal contingency, then you're agreeing to make up any difference between the appraised value and the purchase price value that you guys had agreed upon, okay? So definitely risks involved, so make sure make sure you know what you're offering if you waive that contingency, okay? All right, so those are my tips and tricks. I would be happy to help you if you're looking to buy a house. And if you are a seller and you would like some tips and tricks on how to get your house pushed to the top of the buyers list, I'd be happy to help you with that too. All right, have a great week.